guys. Spurs 1, Newcastle 2. I mean, that was the result on paper. But if all things were equal, guys, if all things were equal, as Ange Postecoglou kept repeating in his post-match interview, what did he mean by that, Dave? Why was he so frustrated with this result?
I just think it was a typical Spurs game. I just think it was so roller coaster. I think there was no element of control from them in this game. I thought Newcastle were the better team on the whole, even though I think the Spurs did create, a number of opportunities. Just lacked a little bit of quality in that final third at times. I can see his frustrations. I think they've been let down by the recruitment. We've spoken about that, haven't we? We think they've been let down by their recruitment team.
Maybe. Well, that back four was more patchwork than it's ever been. It was really threadbare, wasn't it? But I mean,
the thing that's worrying for me is when your best player is like Bergwall in the first half, in my opinion. Yeah, and he's 18 years of age. I thought it was the brightest spark by a mile. They don't have a midfielder in there who can consistently control games. Obviously Basuma didn't start this. It was Sarr obviously partnered Bergwall, wasn't it? And Newcastle, let's be honest with them, they've arguably probably got the best midfield in the league
at the minute.
At the minute. So when you go toe to toe with those, I think it's always going to be a difficult battle. But they just really were on the front foot from the off, Newcastle.
I thought Spurs were unlucky because for obviously the handball, whether that's interfered with play or not, is contentious. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Miles? Because I mean, I think that's what Postecoglou was kind of referring to, how that was the thing that was unfair, and that's why that goal shouldn't have stood. But do you think he's got a point?
No. Maybe I'm alone in this because I've seen so much about this decision, but I don't think his arm's in that unnatural a position. That's what the PGMOL said. I actually agree with them. His arm's down. It hits his hand, fine, but what do you want him to do? Chop it off? Like, it hits him from quite a close range. His hand is low. It. Yeah, like, I don't know. I thought they made a bit too much of that.
I think they'd be more...
that they were more annoyed about was the Dan Burn one. Should that have been a yellow?
There'd be more controversy if it got ruled out.
Yeah, I think so too. Even the Dan Burn one, it looks like it's the t-shirt line. It's nuts the way he jumps at the ball with his arms out, and he's asking for trouble for it. I don't know why he's done that, but again, I didn't think there was anything that bad in this. And what it screamed of was a manager who knows he's lost it, just looking for anything here. And his post-match, like you quoted it a minute ago, Mike, I thought it was embarrassing. And I just think it's really telling that it's done for him there. I've been saying it for a long time that I can't see him getting out of that. They've lost, 10 games out of 20 now this season? It's just shocking from him. And you could see the way he tried to address it was to blame everyone else again. And I do have an air of sympathy for the injuries, but that squad is weak. I mean, James Maddison came on and made a huge difference for them again. He doesn't come on to the 62nd minute, and you feel like Dave mentioned that lack of control they have in the middle. He does bring that. He maybe isn't the best defensively, but when you're on the ball, he feels so much more assured than anyone else they've got, and they're not starting him consistently. I think they're a mess, Spurs. I think the quicker they move Ange on, the better for their sake.
It's a quick question for you. Sorry.
Come on.
Who do you think's in more of a mess? Man United or Tottenham?
I think you have to say Tottenham purely because Man United have done something to at least kick-start the process of addressing it, whereas Spurs don't feel like they have. United are a mess because they're run terribly, and you can say the same thing about Spurs, so it's really comparable. The difference is United have just brought in a new manager, so I don't really want to jump down his throat and say, oh yeah, he's in a worse position. I just think Tottenham, the mentality there has been so poor for so long, and it's weird. Have you seen their record for this season compared to last season?
Yeah.
This time last season, they'd scored the exact same amount of goals and conceded one less, and they were like flying at the top of the league last year, and in this season it's completely failing for them, and that to me is a perfect sign of how inconsistent Ange Ball really is, because you don't know what you're going to get one game to the next, and it can vary your results so much that they have to do something about it now.